Since I'm in the high-risk groups, I'm staying at home March and April 2020, but I do have a few items in my Dollar Tree box that I haven't used for one of my projects yet. Since my grandchildren enjoy soccer, I found these little socks, and one of the socks has a soccer ball on it. I also picked up this little Easter basket last year, in fact. I will insert a picture of another project that I did with an Easter basket. It's actually one of my favorites. The first step is to deconstruct the Easter basket. I took off the handle. Next, I pulled the fabric away from the plastic basket lining. The plastic will become useful later. I'll show you what you can do with that. And here's the rest of the basket, all its parts. And there's actually quite a bit of this fabric that was on the basket. And you know how I love to make sock sweaters. I want the soccer ball on the front, so I'm going to cut down the hillside to open it up. Here's one of those waist knot tips. I used the plastic insert that was in the basket to trace my pattern. And I can use this see-through pattern in case I need to match stripes or designs. I'm using the jacket, shorts, and shoe pattern from my pattern bundle in my Etsy shop. In this case, my lining was so thin that I could see through my lining. I went ahead and stitched around the pattern so that the fabric would not ravel. I pinned it onto the outer part of the fabric and tried to match those lines on the soccer pattern. All right, I really stepped away from the conventional this time. You know, I put a little stitch here so it wouldn't fray. And then when I was ready to sew it onto the top fabric, I sewed along the shoulder, the neckline, the shoulder. I'll turn it over so you can see. Well, it's not real clear. But just this area. And then I sewed the front pieces just up along the front, the opening of the jacket, the neckline, and the shoulders. So when I turn it, all of this will be nice and neat. I might have to rewind this part, and I'm sure you're saying, what? So I sewed up the front, neckline, and shoulder. And I'm going to go ahead and cut close to this stitch, but not right on it. And then you cut the other side. This is what I have, and I'm going to turn all three pieces to the right side. That was a lot of black and white and polka dots going on there. So here we go. I'm going to turn it to the right side. I'll go and press this with my iron. I did want to show you that I used a clean handkerchief for the pressing cloth because I didn't quite know if this fabric, especially this lining, would melt. So use a pressing cloth. On the last video I showed you another unconventional tip where I just lined it first and then sewed on top, just layered it and sewed on top. I'm going to do the same thing with the shoulder seam on this one. You see that I've already lined it. And I'm just laying it on top, the front on top of the back, and I'm going to make a little running stitch there. And I have a good reason for doing that. I want it long sleeve. And you know how wild the soccer uniforms are, just lots of colors and patterns. So I'm going to play with this a little bit and see if I can open it up and see if I can get a sleeve out of this. I think I can. And I'll have to work with that heel some way. I opened up the sock again at the heel and pinned it onto the jacket part. And when you sew it, you have to just kind of give a little stretch, and it should stretch all the way across the where you will sew the sleeve onto the jacket. I sewed the lining, and I had to stop at where the sleeve joins. I'll just tack that together by hand. Then I sewed the outer fabric. Then I basted the sock or the sleeve, And I just put a slight curve. I'm not going to worry about that, the heel showing. So just a slight little curve. Make sure this fits over the hand. And I will machine sew over my basting thread. Cut the excess fabric off, and you have a sweet little sleeve. The sleeves are finished. I'm going to baste the outside fabric and the lining and join them together with a machine stitch. Then, since I've got such a nice finish on the front of the jacket, I'm going to sew the zipper. And if you want those video instructions, they're in the previous video. I have several videos on how to make shorts, and that the shorts pattern comes in my Etsy bundle. I can't talk. I sewed a shoestring on the side to make it look like soccer pants, and this is just some recycled fabric. It's kind of shiny. I took the third pair of socks and put it on the doll and stretched it a little bit. I'm going to baste here and here, and then straight across. And then I'm going to use my machine and machine stitch along the basting. And then I cut off the excess sock. Put a hairband in her hair, and I found this pin, and I don't know, you could put it on that or on the jacket. As much as I enjoy going to Dollar Tree, in fact I'm having Dollar Tree withdrawal right now, I'm not going to tempt you to go to Dollar Tree either. So I will start a new series. Most of my ideas come out of my head, but sometimes I look elsewhere, like these little clothing drawings. I also remember Polyvore. I'll look at that sometimes to get ideas. I never look at other people's doll clothes because I don't like for other people to copy and post and sell my stuff, so I don't copy their hard work either. So once we get out and about again, I'll get back to the Dollar Tree to Cute Me series. Thanks for watching.